You don't, let's be blunt, make promises that you can't keep.
Broken promises. There have been too many in the last few years, too many in the last 30 years. In fact, our nation has been littered with them, a trail of broken promises. You remember them? As leader, I will defend party policy as it is, which is to scrap tuition fees. A promise broken. Will I ever join a Conservative government? No. A promise broken. I believe it's time for promises to be kept. A promise broken is a kind of legacy of which I'm very proud. If we were to trade significantly into the single market out of the European Union, we would be doing so anyway.
And you would stay in the customs union too?
Well, the customs union, I think, is a bit more complicated. I would.
But just tell that. You would do. No. Because I want to add up what all this means, Nick Clegg. Your idea of a soft Brexit is we remain single market membership, we continue with EU contributions, we have free movement of peoples, the jurisdiction of the European Court, we remain in a customs union, which means we can't do most of our own trade deals. You know what that's called? Membership of the EU.
Health, social care, education.
Milligan, Cleese, Everett, Sessions.
I'm not, with respect, banging on about your faith. I'm just asking you a very straight question about whether you think abortion's wrong.
Yeah, you are, Sophie. You are, Sophie, and I've answered it.
Australia, let's settle on that. A market of 20 million people, literally on the other side of the planet, in case you hadn't worked that out, and a market literally 20 miles away across the channel with 500 million people.
I tell you what.
You also describe yourself in one of your leaflets as Ramona of the Year. So you're a Eurosceptic Ramona. How does that work out?
Well, if people cast insults at you, it's quite good to own them if you possibly can. I'm sure you do it from time to time.
You're just trying to have it both ways, aren't you?
You make an interesting point there about use of terminology. You see, I do respect the outcome of the referendum, and I, nevertheless, feel a sense of real concern that in this country, if you stand by your principles, if you question whether Theresa May is making the right choices, and Jeremy Corbyn, of course, backed her in that, then you are dismissed as a saboteur or a Ramona. No, I accept the result.
Well, hold on, that's the fourth time you've said that. I would suggest you don't accept the result. You are fighting tooth and nail to undo the result, aren't you?
You don't accept the result. To give the British people. The deal we've got now is membership of the European Union. The deal we have now is membership, most fundamentally, of the single market. And then we have the opt-outs. We have the fact that we have the rebate. We have exemption from Schengen. We don't have the euro.
We know all that, Mr. Farron. Can we just finally try and get some clarity on this? Because, as you know, there's nothing worse than politicians not answering questions. So can you just be clear? No, you can't keep on talking over me. What you do, how this works is I ask questions and you try to answer them. So let me... No, you're doing it again, Mr. Farron. Please hold on. No, Mr. Farron.
The problem is when you keep talking,
Mr. Farron, you're not in last night's debate. You're in a one-on-one. Mr. Farron, please be quiet and listen to my question. My question is quite simple. Will you campaign...
I can't answer.
Mr. Farron, you're not answering. Let me try one more time. Mr. Farron, let me try one more time. You're not going to heckle me out of this. I will ask my questions.
Don't talk over me when I'm giving
I will ask you my question.
Answer.
In the second referendum,
on the first referendum on the deal,
you will campaign. You're doing it again. You will campaign.
I'm correcting a wrong question.
You will
certainly think it's wrong to take us out of that European database.
That's another issue. I mean, I ask you a question and you answer a different one.
I don't think that's true. I think the fact is that those people who murdered 22 innocent people and injured so many more and caused such fear and panic, those people, they do it for a reason. It's because they hate us. But they hate our neighbours as well.
I understand
and the thing to do is to stand together. Well, we'll start with £300 million extra for our police services.
You want to notify...
We'll start with making sure that we keep within that European database.
Innocent people.
And
hold on, I want to ask you a question.
Well, I was answering the previous one.
Well, actually, you weren't. But the
actually, I was.
So that's
keeping
why
countries
you don't want
together.
to go into a coalition.
So let me just finish the point. You have Jeremy Corbyn with Labour backing Theresa May and, of course, UKIP's position on exiting that
free
trade
want a free trade deal with Europe.
No, they've just voted to tear up the one we've got.
No, they both want a free trade deal.
Well, you're very credulous if you believe that's what you're going to get, and if you think that's what they really want.
Anyway,
but
that's
the
reason you don't want to go into a coalition.
We are not in a position, I don't think, where we could potentially go into coalition with another party led by Theresa May or Jeremy Corbyn, which wants to take Britain out of that free trade deal.
So your manifesto doesn't matter, does it? Your manifesto is irrelevant.
No.
If you're not going to work with other parties, go into a coalition, your manifesto is irrelevant.
You can achieve a vast amount
Everything
from
we've
opposition.
gone through has just been a waste of time.
You can achieve the way we can prevent the dementia tax.
But they're not, are they?
And at the moment,
I mean, you set out with high hopes.
Theresa May, well, let me finish the point.
No, you've had enough on that point, actually. I want to know why your campaign has gone so badly.
You asked me.
Why has the campaign gone so badly?
You asked me.
And I'm asking you
why
now,
from opposition
why has the
you can make
gone? So in the final seconds, do me one favour and finally answer my final question. Why has your campaign gone so badly?
As every good student will tell you, the best thing to do is to challenge the assumption in the question. Liberal Democrats are doing extremely well, and here is a reason why we will and why we should.
But you're a populist who's not popular, Mr. Farron. That's why your campaign's gone badly.
Worse sound bites than Paul Nuttall, but let me keep going. Here's the big offer. Here's the big offer.
I'm sorry.
People out there.
We have run out of time for your big offer, Mr. Farron.
Lend me your vote,
spoke yourself
and
out.
we'll stop
Mr.
the
Farron,
dementia tax.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Imagine your mum has a fall.